Welcome back to the Dighton Local Business Spotlight, brought to you by the Dighton Development and Industrial Commission. On behalf of the DDIC, I'm Town Treasurer Paul Reynolds, and I'm joined here today by Chris Silva, President of the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, Paul.
Thank you very
Good
much
morning.
for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. We really appreciate you coming down. So, as we dive into today's interview, Chris, can you tell us, what exactly is the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce?
I'm so glad that you asked me that question, Paul. And you know, I think a lot of people just hearing Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce might have made an assumption that we only cover the city of Taunton, but the word area is very important because we actually do cover the town of Dighton, Rainham, and Berkeley as well. So we are a 501c6 business nonprofit. A lot of people don't realize that we are also a nonprofit organization, not a charitable nonprofit, but a business membership-based nonprofit. So more than 90% of a member's dues is actually tax deductible through our organization. And being a nonprofit, we are overseen by a board of directors. So these are all volunteers, members of the community who represent our constituencies, large business, small business, and nonprofits as well. So we do help and support large business, small business, and that would include home-based and nonprofit organizations.
That's
in the
fantastic.
community.
And now, let's talk a little bit about what forms that help takes. Could you tell us a little bit about what types of services the Chamber offers to its members?
Yes, so it's quite varied. Overall, we say we have 6 main areas of service. So we provide relationships, that's been the backbone of chambers for many, many years, the networking aspect and building relationships,
Absolutely.
Which is still, even in the era of social media, you know, it still reigns supreme, if you will. Networking and relationship building interpersonally, face-to-face, is still a really, really effective means of growing your business.
Absolutely.
So relationships would be one. Resources would be the other, and that is the collaborations and the resources that we have access to that are mostly free to the business community. Now, you had Linda Foss in here. We love Linda. We have a great relationship with SCORE. SCORE is one of our community partners as well, but also Mass Development, Mass Small Business Development Center, SEED, and SERPED, who I know the DDIC has done some work with,
Yes.
Are all organizations that are committed to helping the business community succeed, and mostly their services are completely free. So we do partner with them to help businesses that come to us and say, well, you know who I think could help you? It's this organization here, and put them in touch with people personally. So that's the resources aspect. We also do promotion. So we're big on social media, our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So especially for the small businesses that don't have the resources or especially the time to commit to promoting their business on social media, because it is time consuming. That's something that we really feel is a strong suit of the chamber, is promoting our businesses out, but also commenting on their posts, sharing their posts. So we're really interacting with our members on social media tremendously to give them the exposure that they need and they don't have the time to do on social media. So the promotion piece is a big part of what we do. We also do education. So we offer a lot of programming ourselves for business owners around social media, or how to manage your finances, or thinking about succession planning. But we also compile all of the other amazing programs that are offered by organizations that I mentioned, MSBDC and SCORE and SERPED and SEED and others. They're doing their own programming too. So we're kind of a one-stop shop. When you get the email each week from us, you'll see all of those opportunities there. So you don't have to subscribe and remember to check what everyone else is doing. We kind of compile all of that for you and send it out on a weekly basis. We also through education, we allow our members to shine and showcase their own expertise and talents. So we actually just had one a few weeks ago from a Berkeley-based, home-based business called Wicked Social. She does social media, and so she was able to do a session, a webinar for our members, and showcase her expertise, so help them, but at the same time, she's showcasing her business and hopefully getting some business out of it as well.
Absolutely.
We also do, sorry, Paul, 2 more things.
Oh, please,
We also
please.
do advocacy, so we do advocate for our constituents, and keeping in mind our constituents are large business, small business, home-based business, and nonprofit. But oftentimes sometimes it's an issue where it's kind of benefiting all, and that's when we'll weigh in. And then engagement. This is one I'm really excited about. This brings me back to, again, my background. And we're really engaged in the community. So I can talk about that a bit later. I feel like I've droned on this question, so we probably should move on.
No, absolutely, it's fantastic. There's I hear oftentimes from business owners that they say that I'm so busy working in my business that I can't work on my business.
That's exactly right.
And it's great that in terms of things, whether it's financial management or advertising, social media, it sounds like the Chamber really has a lot to offer those business owners that are too busy working in their business to necessarily work on those forms of outreach. So it's fantastic that they have an advocate and a partner in the Chamber.
Yes, thank you.
And now it's great. I did not realize how much they offer to their members in terms of services, but let's talk a little bit about the general public. What does the Chamber offer to the general public who may not necessarily be members?
So for the general public, oftentimes people will be wondering, are they looking for a recommendation or referral? If they're new to town especially, they'll say, where can I go to find, I need somebody to do plumbing or electrical, or I need an attorney or an accountant. So sometimes, they'll turn to the Chamber. They realize that the Chamber is a collection of businesses in the community, and they'll turn to us for referrals and recommendations. In addition to that, the community engagement piece that I kind of touched on. So and again, hearkening back to my nonprofit background, I definitely saw the opportunity for the Chamber to be more engaged with the nonprofit and service-based community. So what we started doing was we have an annual fundraiser. It's done online. That's called the Holiday Cheer Campaign, where we benefit 3 local nonprofits. So that's cash donations. But what we also started doing was incorporating a give back into every one of the major events that the Chamber holds. So traditionally, they may have a raffle at a large event, where maybe it was 50-50 or something like that. Now what we do is 100% of the proceeds from a raffle at a major event go to an identified nonprofit in our community. So we're really proud of that as well. And then we just launched 2 months ago the Chamber Service Corps. So that brings me, back to my Service Corps. And this is an effort to allow Chamber members to participate and volunteer hands-on in the communities that we serve. And so because of the connections that we have, we do find out about a number of those happenings. And to be able to put a call out to these members who have identified themselves to say, I'll be on the list to call, we put the call out and say, hey, this event needs, some volunteers to do setup or breakdown or whatever it might be, or cleanups, things like that. And if they can make it, they'll say, I'd love to be there. And we kind of meet together. And so they have people to go with. And, we're a community of business people in your town that are coming together for hands-on volunteering. So I'm really proud of that.
That is fantastic. And now we've had the opportunity on DDIC to attend multiple Taunton area Chamber events. And I do know, however, that the events that we've attended are not the totality of what the Chamber has to offer. Could you tell us a little bit about what types of events the Chamber hosts?
Sure. So I mentioned relationships and networking. So, your traditional business after hours, of course, the Chamber still holds business after hours. But we realize that a lot of business owners don't, have the ability to go out after work. Sometimes they have to get home to their family, or maybe they work later into the night. So we started doing coffee and conversation in the morning. I've actually seen some folks from DDIC at the coffee and conversation. That's been quite popular. So we have that usually at 9 to 10 in the morning. And we've done a noontime networking, so over lunch, and then we still have the after hours. And those are opportunities also for our members to host those events. So members can say, I'd really love to host this, provide some pastries and coffee, and have the members come to my place of business to showcase my business. So that's been quite popular. So those are the networking events that we do. But we also have what I refer to as these major events. So these are opportunities to bring Chamber members together, do some fundraising for the Chamber, of course, as a nonprofit, but also our golf tournament benefits our scholarship fund. We have a comedy night. We have comedy night. We have our annual meeting, which is our biggest event where we come together to celebrate. We celebrate at that event a large business of the year, a small business of the year, community impact award. And we also have an Educator of the Year award and a tooth in the student scholarships. So this is kind of really celebrating all that the Chamber values. And we all come together and celebrate that at the annual meeting, which is a fantastic event. We run 2 golf tournaments, one that's just our chamber, and then one ladies tournament that we run in collaboration with the Cranberry Country Chamber. So that's a fun event also. And then Oktoberfest, which is at Berkeley Beer Company. And we do that obviously during Oktoberfest, and that is a lot of fun and I think very successful event for us. And it also, these events give our members an opportunity to be showcased through sponsorship. And it's not just, the bank that pays, $5,000 to sponsor. We know we represent small businesses that can't afford those types of sponsorships.
Absolutely.
So every event that we have, we incorporate a lower level of sponsorship. They can sponsor Oktoberfest, the beer garden for $150. So we usually do make sure that there's always that level. So if you want the exposure and this is something that you're interested in, you have the opportunity to do that.
That's fantastic. And now, if we have business owners at home who are interested in joining, or just folks who want to learn more, where can someone go to learn more about what the Chamber has to offer?
I'm glad that you asked me that. So certainly our social media platforms, as I said, scroll through our social media and you'll really get a good sense of who we are. And that's at Taunton Area Chamber. But also you can go to the website. Again, you can scroll through the website and peruse that as well. And that is tauntonareachamber.org, again, because we're a nonprofit. So.
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that. I'm sure many people at home will be taking us up on that and looking into what the Chamber has to offer. And now, one of my favorite things to share during the Spotlight is a success story. I love a good success story.
Yeah.
So could you tell us about a member who has recently benefited from their Chamber membership?
This to say, because it's Dighton based, is I noticed that on social media that you have an organization here called WAGS. WAGS is helping waiting animals getting support. Is the organization, and they help animals who are mostly from down south, but some local, who need to be rehomed. So I found out about the organization, and I actually approached one of our members. We have a program that we started called Business for Business, where an existing member can sponsor the membership for a small business or nonprofit that can't prioritize the dollars right now, but really could benefit from the membership. And that's been well received, especially by obviously the larger businesses, and the banks really love to give back and support our small business community. But even some of our smaller entrepreneurial members have sponsored other entrepreneurs because they saw how much it helped them. And with WAGS, I approached a Bluestone Bank, and they said, this sounds great, we'd love to sponsor their membership. And so they sponsored them for a year, and then we brought them to Oktoberfest, and the raffle raised over $1,000 for them at Oktoberfest, and obviously raised a lot of awareness for WAGs. So we were really happy about that one too. Yeah.
That is excellent. Now, here on DDIC, one of our primary missions is trying to find ways to encourage economic activity here in Dighton. Based on the feedback you've received, what are some things that local government can do to better support its business community?
Well, I have to say, what the DDIC, first of all, forming the DDIC and the efforts that I've seen the DDIC make is exactly what government should be doing, local government. You need to listen. You need to ask. You can't possibly address barriers or challenges if you don't know what they are. And I feel that, the formation of the DDIC to focus on business in the community, you really put yourself out there to listen to what the business community needs. And that's what all local business, local municipalities and city officials need to do. And beyond just saying, hey, we're here for you, we're here to listen, actively listen, don't passively listen. So go out with a survey, have drop-in hours, have opportunities online. You have to, not everyone can get out to go to a drop-in opportunity. I think that's super important to offer is drop-ins, because face-to-face, again, is so important.
Absolutely.
And something that's a consistent basis, not just kind of, quarterly. If you can afford it, to just, say, hey, our office is open from 9 to 10 every, Tuesday morning, to hear from you. Opportunities, as I said, online and other means of communicating with you. And also when you're able to, because sometimes those fixes might be immediate.
Absolutely.
Someone might say, hey, I'm just having a hard time getting in touch with so-and-so at the, town hall, and you may be able to address that immediately. Others issues may obviously take longer to address. But when you are doing that, be transparent about it and communicate back out to the business community to say, hey, we heard from you that you're having a struggle with this. Here's how you address that, because it may be more than just that person that came in to speak with you that's having that same challenge.
Absolutely.
So that very open, constant communication back out to your business community through social media, or whatever means you're finding to be successful, multiple modes is always the best, I think would be really, really beneficial to keeping happy the businesses that you have, hopefully keeping them remaining in your town, but also generating additional businesses to come to your community. You do want to hear about what may be preventing them from making the final decision to be located here. So,
absolutely. Thank you very much. And now, for our final question today, to stick with the theme of asking and actively listening, is there anything else you think we should know?
There's so much more I feel that we do. I appreciate the opportunity because I've touched on many things. But I just feel that you pointed this out earlier, and you really do have to invest in your business. And people know that, and I'm not trying to be condescending when I say that you have to invest in your business, but I hear sometimes that we don't understand how the chamber will help us. Whether small business is to me more obvious. All of these things I touched on around not having the time to look into different webinars and find out what opportunities there are for grants or do my own social media. Those are very obvious and more immediate payoffs. When you're talking about a big business, there's often a sense of, well, I don't need the business, so I don't need to be involved. And what we say to that is, yes, but the totality of what we're doing is we support and celebrate each other in our communities. And that's everybody. Because oftentimes you might have a large business, but you probably live here. And you want to have resources. You want to have a great town where you can, have access to the things that you need. And so investing in helping these small businesses who offer these varied services, helping them to survive and thrive, is helping to build your community and make it more comprehensive and more attractive to be a best place to live.
Absolutely.
So.
And a great place to open a business.
And a great place to open a business, especially in Dighton. I live right in Berkeley, and so very similar, the small town charm is wonderful, and I feel like it really lends itself to certain businesses to come to, especially when you have waterfront access and things like that, to be able to really capitalize on that to bring people to your town, I think is really worthwhile. So as much as we love our traditions and our small town feel, at the same time, there's a way to really elevate your town with certain businesses that you bring to the community that make a better quality of life for the people that live there too.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And I can't tell you how grateful we are to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Anytime, Paul.
Thank you very much. We're very grateful for you coming on the program. And again, for everyone at home, this is Chris Silva, President of the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce. And if you're interested in learning more about how the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce can benefit your business, please visit their website and social media so that you can learn more about the services that are available to you. Once again, I am Paul Reynolds with the DDIC, and this has been another Dighton Local Business Spotlight. If you'd like to be featured on the program, it is open to all registered businesses in good standing, which are registered in or principally operate in the town of Dighton, and nonprofits which cater to the business community of Dighton. If you'd be interested in being featured on the program, please reach out to ddic@dighton-ma.gov. Joined today by Chris Silva with the Taunton Area Chamber of Commerce.